Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Friday night live tribe. I'm so excited to have you guys here. It is a thrill, a thrill, a thrill. I want to get into a topic today, uh, especially coming out of the summit. And I'm just going to say the following to give you an idea of what we're going to talk about today. And we're going to dig into a little bit of workflows and improving our workflows because workflows don't improve on their own. They require us to do something. The person who's actually executing the workflow has to notice where an improvement can be made. So let's consider what the word improve means because that is not an easy word. It's a simple word, but it's not an easy word. And the dictionary says that the word improve means to make or become better. To make or become better. So when we're talking about improving our workflows, we're talking about making the workflow become better in some way or just having it be better. But then I often say, because when people use words like better to me that I can't measure, I'll ask the question. So I ask myself this question: what does the word better mean? And when I'm looking for my own productivity improvements, I have three ways that I define better, which then says how I am improving. Those ways are: I want to remove steps in my workflow or my process that I consistently stumble over. I'm doing it and something causes me to get off kilter, to have to backtrack, to pause and have to about it real hard, or to be in the middle of executing and I don't have a tool, a document, uh, anything that I need to finish. So when I'm doing and I'm following through a workflow, if I'm stumbling or I stumble at all, that's an area where I can improve my workflow. The next area is reduce the amount of time that it takes for me to do the thing to get through the workflow. So if I have a workflow that's say 20 minutes, I'm generally thinking, can I shorten this? Can I get it done without losing quality in a shorter amount of time? And that short amount of time may not be 10 minutes, it may be 10 seconds, but minutes and seconds add up to hours and days and years. I learned the hard way that not paying attention to the small amount of time ended up wasting the larger amount of time. The third measurement that I follow is, can I reduce the number of steps necessary for me to execute? If I see I have a 10-step workflow, is there anything I can do to take a step out, again, without sacrificing quality? And if I can, then that's a place where I can make improvement. So I want you to notice a couple of things here. One thing is, the better for me is measurable. Either it is or it isn't. I did or I didn't. It's clear. I can see it. I can put my fingers on it. It's not something that's floating around in my head that it feels better. Because sometimes for me, I'm not going to say to you, and I see y'all, Yolanda. I love that. Summit superstar. Yes, both of you. Tora, so glad to see you. Frank, I see you out there. So glad to have you guys in the room with me tonight. But my noticing these rough edges are not just how I feel about them because, frankly, I could improve one of those, reduce time, reduce steps, get a place where I stumble out of the way, and I won't necessarily emotionally feel differently, but I'll know that I did it. And as I start to notice those things, something that's taking longer than I thought it should take, or I'm measuring, or something that has too many steps, like, can I make this shorter? Something that is, I'm stumbling over it. And I'm going to give you a real world example today. I write it down. I don't necessarily go change it immediately, but I do write it down so that when I'm ready to start making changes, I've got a catalog or a database or a list that I can start brainstorming how to address that defect in my workflow. So today I want to answer 3 questions relative to completing the 2026 Iron Sharpens Iron Summit, which finished last night, y'all. And we're going to walk through those. But first, before we walk through those, I want to say hello to my friends who are out here, the folks who came, the folks who sewed. And here's the red car is in the building. The red car just drove up the driveway. There you go. Hello, hello, hello. And this young lady, yes, we're going live tonight. I will be in your stream and I'm going to say hi. You know what, Tora? I thought you were telling Yolanda she was a summit superstar. Thank you. I am not emotional. Just saying. There you go. Uh, see, now you go. At least she used a simple word improve instead of the Yolanda collegiate word ameliorate. Okay. All right. I'm trying. I'm working on that. No $25 words tonight, I hope. Hey Frank, glad to have you in the building with us. Yes, we should be hollering Yolanda cuz Tora is something. Hey, hey, the emotional CEO is in the building. Happy Friday, gang. So glad to see you here. Glad to have you guys here and see you guys greeting each other. Yeah. See the red car, the little red car. Where is Roy? I didn't see Roy. Did I miss Roy? I see somebody saying hi to Roy, but I don't see him. Hi, Roy, if you're in the building and I didn't notice you, somebody else saw you slide in and I didn't see it. I apologize because I literally don't see it. You guys know if you have questions, feel free to put the questions in chat and I will come to them. So, what I want to talk about today is the first question is I kind of talked about this, and the first question is how do I approach finding process improvement opportunities? And it's very simple for me. It may not be for you. One thing that I do is I'm paying attention for those 3 areas I mentioned earlier. Am I stumbling? Is it taking too much time or taking more time than I think it should? Or are there too many steps? I've got 10 steps and I can get it down to 8 steps. It's taken 5 minutes and I can get it down to 4.5 minutes. That's one way. So I'm paying attention all the time to for those kinds of stumbling blocks to happen. The other is Yolanda, I'm proud of myself, but I watch my own film, so to speak. So when I release a video or a live stream, I go back, I first watch it and listen to it for what I'm saying, how I'm delivering it. Did I say what I meant? I cannot tell you the number of times I've caught myself after the fact where I stopped the thought in the middle of the sentence and didn't come back to it. So by me watching and listening, I am catching those shortcomings. The other thing, I'm looking at how I present. Am I presenting the way I want to present? Am I showing up visually? Am I showing what I intend to show? Where am I is my timing off? So I'm listening to myself and I'm watching myself, not because I'm a narcissist, but because I'm looking for those places where I can improve. The other approach I take is I consistently ask my team for feedback. I ask, what are the things in our process we can improve? What are the things in the event? What are every night over the last 2 weeks, every night we had a debrief. And that's the time to say, no matter how small the thing is, because it's not just about me, it's also about the people who support me. So no matter how small it is or how big it is, I will ask, what are things you noticed? What are stumbling blocks you noticed? What could be different and create a smoother, more engaging experience for you, for any guests we have, in this case, for the instructors who came in. I see you out there, James Hicks. What do you mean, big old word? Please explain that. For us as a crew working together. So that's my approach. I'm myself paying attention all the time. Second, I'm watching what I did. I do the same when I write something, and I said I'd tell a story, share an example. So I've been working on something, and I put out a update on a website, and last week was reading, going back reading, and Yolanda, this is for you. Was reading the copy out loud. Now, mind you, this thing has gone live. Was reading the copy out loud, and about 5 sentences in, I stumbled across a word. And at first, I skipped over it and kept going, and I came back and I read it again, and stumbled over it again. So I stopped and wrote it down. I took a screenshot, sent it to the person who needed to make the update and said, change this word, because if I'm stumbling over it, someone else is going to stumble over it. Now, how is that a process improvement? It's a process improvement because it told me that our team, need to slow down and do a little bit more copy editing before we put content out. Real world just happened in my world. Another example is I had someone contact me today and ask me, how do they get on my email list? I was like, let me go look. So I actually had to go to my website and scroll to tell them where to look. That's a stumbling block because when that person asked me how to get on my email list, I should have had a quick way, a text expander snippet, say, hey, here you go. I'm sending it to you right now. Just go click and you're there. So those just everyday conversations sometimes is how I'll find these as well. So those was two real world examples of how something that's real small, but I now know that there is a process problem somewhere that I need to fix. I'm not broken, had the wrong word, but more importantly, to get past those occurrences, I need to address something in the process that we're following. So hopefully that's making sense to you. Hey, Sandra, so glad to see you in the building. So glad to see you. And James Hicks, what you up to, sir? That was a long stream last night. It was like 2.5 hours you guys went. So it was good though. It was really good. So let's go. So that's how my approach to finding these opportunities to improve. Then the next thing is when you find them, where do you write them down to track them and get your template updates done because most of the time for me, my workflows, I've built some kind of a checklist or some kind of a template almost exclusively. Because if I have to do something more than once, I don't want to have to think about how to do it again. So I track that. First of all, when I'm just going about my day, I keep my book and a pen. So I will often just jot something down on the page for that day. If it was like today when I saw the copy problem, if I can literally see it like that, I'll do a quick screen grab and throw it into my note-taking app. Once a week, at a minimum, I gather all of those ideas up and just put them in a list in Evernote. I may not do anything to address that item for 2, 3 weeks, sometimes longer, but I don't lose it because I've got it in one place. So that's simple. Like this is real world how I go about this. I'll give you an example. During these last 2 weeks, I was for you all, some of you know, we were using comms for the first time. And as I was going through it, I was talking with some other colleagues about how to effectively communicate on comms during when you've got a group of people. And as I was taking those lessons down, I was just jotting them down. Now I'll go back and begin to build a list, and we'll add to that list as we go and continually build it, and also practice using the language to make it make sense so that when we're doing the same work for someone else helping supporting their event, we're efficient, we're effective, and we don't take extra time. Those minutes and seconds add up. So that is the way that's how I approach it. I just jot it down or take a screen grab. Yesterday, I did one other thing. I actually, Yolanda and Tori, you guys were. I took a screen grab of something you put in chat, in text message, and I wanted to use that. So sometimes it's just I'll take a screen grab on my phone or whatever. So that's how I document it, and I just make sure at least once a week I put it all in Evernote, and I can come back to it. The last question that I want to answer in this process. So that's where do I document and track these updates, these ideas? That's how I do it. And if you have something that you so this is the big one. What are 3 improvements I see coming out of the 2026 summit? There were some things that we did that were new for me and everyone else. Excuse me. And I was writing them down. One thing, believe it or not, this may sound a little I'm not gonna worry about how it sounds. We're not gonna do that. We're good. One of the things I wrote down was I want to change, and we did it on the last night, but after an instructor completes delivering content, they've delivered their session, get them out of the main room to give them some private time. Maybe you need to get a drink. Maybe they need to just get up and stretch. They may need to take a phone call or respond to something. Just a few minutes, 5 minutes, maybe all they need. 3 minutes may be all they need, but get them out of the room so that they have an opportunity to just relax for a minute or two. And in fact, I'm thinking about that in a bigger way, but that's one of the improvements. And it was because we were talking on comms during the event, and it took me until the last night to figure out how to get past that friction point. So for the rest of you who I didn't do that for, I apologize. It took me a minute, but I finally got there. So that's one of the improvements that I noticed. And in our rundown, I've built a template. I will now put that step in the template so that it's not overlooked going forward. Another improvement that I've thought about, haven't implemented, is for the summit or any event that's offline in Zoom, have a video that plays in while the attendees are in the waiting room to give them some instruction or some information they'll need before they come in the waiting room to help reduce confusion, to help them feel comfortable, to help them know what they're walking into or coming into, greeting them. That's another improvement. And it happened because of something that happened during the summit. I don't even remember what day it was, but one of the days, and I just want to tweak, just want to get that much sharper, go through. It was a little stumbling block. It was at number one. How do we resolve it? We're going to figure that out. Do we do some kind of a standard video that we put up and then for the event? A third improvement, this was a stumbling block. Again, for me, these for the summit, they were things that I felt like I personally felt like were stumbles and want to just get that much sharper. A third one is changing the way the guests are introduced. I'm always going to talk from my heart. I am going to always talk about the people who come in and share and pour from my heart. At the same time, I want to honor you all who come and anyone else by making sure in my excitement about just being with you and what you're doing, I don't misrepresent who you are, um, and what you've done and what you're bringing. So, really thinking through a process to sharpen that introduction piece. We have your bio, and then I get excited about who you are, and then I just go all in on my excitement and what I know about you and what you personally mean to me. That will never change. I will talk about what the person personally means to me because that is the only way I know to relate to people. So those are 3 improvements that I noticed, and this was just me, all by my lonesome, figuring out some process improvements, and I hope that, some of what I've shared will be useful to you to think through whether it's a live stream, whether it's a video, whether it's a virtual remote event you're in, whether it's an in-person event you're in, whether it's you're working on writing copy or making a graphic or writing a presentation, whatever it is you're doing, as you go about working through your workflows, you're thinking about where are these 3 areas? Where do I stumble? What's taking more time than I think it should? What has too many steps? How can I tweak it? Don't try to fix them all at the same time, but at least write them down. And then you can start to figure out how to fix them. So that's what I got for you. And Sandra, thank you so much. That's why it's called Iron Sharpens Iron. Thank you. And Tora, thank you. Pure excellence. These are great adjustment ideas. I appreciate that. Appreciate it a great deal. And great summit. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Mr. Hicks, what you up to, sir? How are you doing? And what I have a question for you. What big old word were you talking about? I didn't use any $25 words today. I used simple words today. Even Tora was proud of me. So, gang, we have been at this just about a half an hour. If you have any questions, I would love to answer your questions, but we're not going to tarry. I know Yolanda, so we got to go talk about them. They're Ravens. What's going on with them? And um, it was a good time. The summit definitely, it was fun, but it was enlightening and transformative. And definitely people who are in the community will see some of that transformation occurring. through me, and I hope for those of you who are part of the community. And if you're not a part of the community, check the description below, the first link in the description, in the description of this video, and you can go to the link there, and you'll bring you to the community, and you're welcome to join us anytime and hear all about what we're doing and engage in the conversation and have some good time. Hey, David Hunt, I see you sliding in. How are you doing? Okay, I want to know what and why you write my name all in caps. Okay, sir. He says I am not the same. I okay. Look, little red car. What in the world? And emotional. Why are you telling? Why are you telling? Thank you. Thank you, Yolanda. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And a lot of great information that we all can use in life in general. And isn't that interesting how that works? How that works. We think we're coming to learn how to be productive, and really we're getting total life lessons. And the two of you, girl group, okay, I see you out there. People not supposed to know that. All right. Hey, good to see you, David, for hanging in. And I'm glad to know change for the better. I'm looking forward to the conversations that we'll have going forward about what you're implementing, what you're applying. I did use a $25 word, what you're changing in your process, in your approach to whatever, to the work that you're doing, whether it's in your profession, whether it's in your home, whatever part of life you're working in, because it applies really truly to all. Community building is in every part of our lives. Community building is in every part of our lives, with our family, with our friends, with our church members, our ministry members, with our neighbors. Community building is everywhere. It's not solely here in social media and content creation. It's everywhere. We're building community everywhere because it's relationships. And yes, and Frank came on camera twice. I know, Tori, you wrote that down. Like, I'm circling this day. Okay, what is the word of the day, Frank? What is the word of the day? Let us know, because I don't know what that word of the day is. Well, gang, I am going to say good night. I appreciate you all being here. For those of you who came through in the summit, if you're not here commenting in real time and you're just watching, I'm so glad that you joined us tonight. I desire that you would learn something and take a lesson from this, and be able to move forward with these straightforward approaches that we can all apply. We can all apply. I agree with you, David Hunt. They did. They all showed out. Everybody showed out. The speakers showed out, and yeah, everyone did. 8 different speakers. Everyone was excellent. And we need it now more than anything, community. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And Frank, what are you talking about? I did use one $25 word, implement or implementation, however I said it. So I'm getting out of here. I am getting out of here. I will see you in the next live stream, the next video, or in the community, which is in the first link in the description. Look forward to seeing you. And with that, everybody, have a great weekend, a great week next week, and I will see you soon. Take care.